Welcome back to the Stutter Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark.
Yo,
How are you doing on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend Sunday, Mark?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
Like you look
said,
great.
The sun is out. Thanks, man. I don't usually pop out with these type of shirts. I usually always am a graphic tee type of guy. But when you have a woman in your life, they tell you got to start looking a little different sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? She ain't wrong. You know, I like to switch it up too. It's just like, I think the main issue is that like I don't usually go out shopping regardless for myself. I'm usually just like I got something and then I rock with it for a little long and I'm just
until the wheels fall off.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes I see it too and I can identify. I'm like, dang, I feel like I need to get some like, some new clothes. But then I just never end up like finding the time to do it. And then went this weekend. Got some shirts, got some shorts, so, summer stuff. So yeah, I kind of want to have that, type of style where it's breathable, type
It's
of
getting hot out,
Yeah, so I'm like, this is a very, very like soft and comfortable shirt, so I like it. But yeah, I'm glad you asked. How have you been?
I'm good. Can't complain. Life is good.
Nice.
Everything's falling into line. I forgot. So there was something I wanted to talk about last week, but what did we talk about last week? The Diddy stuff.
Yeah,
and we kind of went on a tangent about that. There was something else that I wanted to mention, but since we're here now, I want to get out the way, see how you feel about it.
Okay.
Kind of an update. Remember like a couple weeks ago, I'm assuming at this point, when I brought up the idea how there was going to be a gold card to get citizenship in this country for like X amount of dollars, and Donald Trump was going to be the first buyer.
Yep.
Little update. There has been a little bit of a pitch for the Department of Homeland Security, also known as DHS, right? I'm just going to give it to you. So somebody pitched the idea of there being a reality show / game show to fight for citizenship. Not even, it's a flat out game show. And they brought it up to the DHS. And the craziest thing to me is that the answer wasn't an immediate no.
Yeah.
They basically were just like, yo, we'll put a pin in that. Like, we're open to all ideas. We hear you. We're gonna keep that in the jar just in case. And I think that the fact that wasn't even like an immediate like no, that's a terrible idea is insane to me. But it was legit. This didn't come from Trump, but it was something brought up to the Department of Homeland Security, who's responsible for all this stuff. And they're like, yo, like what if we just take all these Mexicans and just
shove them in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Have them fight basically. Because it'd be, okay, I won't say it's wrong completely. But then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you have a bunch of them trying to almost fight for the citizenship. So you know how competitions are.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically going to fight each other for it. And that's when it even starts to get even more sad.
Well, it depends what the competition is.
I mean,
if this is like Survivor, then yeah, somebody's getting voted off.
But what other type of, I guess if it's just like a question, but I still think no matter what, at least for me, if I'm on a game show, I already see the other person. If I know there's somebody else who can take my prize, they're automatically a competitor.
Because like immediately you would, people are like, oh, Hunger Games, Squid Game vibe, Survivor, any of the other those type of shows. There's a caveat. There's another side to it that I just thought of now. Instead of going that route, all dark and sinister, we can go, are you smarter than the average American? And there's no blood law, nothing. If somebody's just genuinely just, yo, I speak the language, I do X, Y, I know more than the average American.
Mm-hmm.
Bada bing, bada boom, you're a citizen. It could even be like, you don't have to get like, because it's like, who's going to pick, who's going to be the average American? Who decides that? I want you to know, this is all developing right now.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, where it's like all head to head, we could do like Family Feud style.
So see, that's where I was just about to say. That's why I was laughing and smiling so hard, because all I'm thinking is Steve Harvey shows up. What's going on, Gonzalez?
Yeah, so it's two immigrants walk up to a podium.
So wrong.
And then he asks the question, who would be the host? Not Steve Harvey.
No, definitely not.
Who would be a good host? Mario Lopez.
I was literally about to say it, bro. Who's gonna be the host? Oh my gosh.
Mario Lopez can be the host. And it's just like surveys asked, we surveyed 100 Americans, what's the capital of Idaho? And then it's like, survey says. This is all Mario Lopez saying. He's still saying survey says. It's like, boom, and it's like, I don't know what I don't know what the capital of Idaho is. Is it Boise?
I don't either.
It might be Boise. I'm gonna check that. But yeah, Mario Lopez.
Obviously, we shouldn't be on the show. Obviously.
If I get this right, I will be.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. So put me on the show.
Boise.
Boise.
Let's go. Boise. That's the
Interesting.
only city in Idaho that I could think of. So I'm glad I got it.
Interesting.
But yeah, Mario Lopez is the host. You got that. You survey the average American about American history or constitutional all that jazz that they usually ask on the test for citizenship.
Yeah.
And you just, whatever side wins or whatever 1v1 wins, that's it. Now, I will say, if this becomes a thing, I have a strong feeling that Hispanics are not going to be on it. They're going to pick like British and Australians and Canadians.
100%. Because it will low key just be. I mean, don't get me. No, not really. Because I was going to say the idea of something that's not very similar, but how I feel like the idea of like if you're not from this country, it's almost like kind of like 90 Day Fiance, where it's you got somebody who's from somewhere else, trying to meet somebody who's from America. So a lot of the times it's like to get citizenship. And then sometimes it's genuine love, at first sight. But sometimes it's like that comes after the idea of like, okay, like I want to marry you so I can get citizenship. But then it's like sometimes it develops and you're like, oh, cool, that's great for them. That's not always the case sometimes. But I'm just thinking like, yeah, it's something very similar where it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of, it would be sad when you see it not go the right way.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like,
because
they have to leave. Because they fight so hard for that stuff already.
Dog.
To be put on television, to have to see that's where it's like, bro, that's so sad.
It's so like morally wrong, but for the joke, hoping that it doesn't become true. You know how sad, because you watch like, my family used to love The Voice, like in the early seasons, or you think about like OG American Idol.
American Idol is what I remember used to see.
Or like X Factor. Like people used to love those kind of shows. And then now it's like The Masked Singer is probably the biggest one that I could think of.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, but I feel like that's the one that's talked about a lot now. And they give you the sob stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So imagine these sob stories for Are You Smarter Than the Average American? It's just like a small Guatemalan man fighting to stay for his family.
Yeah.
Genuine tears would come out of my eyes.
Exactly.
Because it'd be real. Like, this isn't like, like a singing show where it's like, yeah, my mom, my like family member passed away of cancer.
Yeah.
I'm singing for them. This is all for them. I'm rooting for you, grand. And it's something like where if they lose, they get to go home to their regular job and like live an okay life.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like something like this. You get sent home, and it's like you're separated from your family entirely. Like that, the difference in struggle is like so like completely different.
Which is why.
Yeah. But then Mario Lopez gonna be like, oh, bring up Klaus. It's like, oh, let's go. I want to be American.
I want to be an American. Let me stop. Yeah, it's a wild concept. Honestly, the fact, like you said, the fact that it wasn't like immediately denied, and they were like, you know what? Let's come back to that.
Let's put that into the wild card pile, and we'll come back.
If we're doing a little hard on money, let's circle back to this and let's see what we can get up.
Because that's such bad like PR. But like honestly, at this point, I think our PR is just shot. as a country.
PR at this point for this country is
at a negative.
It's not even so much more as like how can we look good. It's how much can we embarrass ourselves, because now it's the opposite.
Now it's just like we've turned heel, like like WWE style. Yeah. Like let's just Randy Orton this shit. Like let's really lean into like 2009 Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And just like throw Vince McMahon into a burning limousine, hurt John Cena, betray Shawn Michaels and Triple H, like
literally
the whole nine.
Hurt women.
Yeah, abuse women.
Like it's so crazy.
Hit Edge in the back of the head with a freaking chair. Like let's just start like seething in the corner of the ring, getting ready for RKO.
That's why, I think that's how this country is as a whole. Is like it sucks, and I wish it wasn't, but it's literally like we're the joke of the world at this point. So it's like, oh, we're known for freedom, but we're also known to make people laugh at the same time at our own expense. So yeah, it's a problem.
But if it happens, if I'm waiting for the day that like one of these, when we have these situations where we talk about this stuff and it's like we hit it like the nail on the head perfect. Like if I turn on the TV on like CBS one day and it's just like, are you smarter than the average American? I'm like, bro, what? And it's like, oh, what's up, everybody? I'm Mario Lopez. We got a great show for you tonight. We got people from all over the world fighting to be the average American.
I'm just looking at it like,
and like when he says it, he points to the crowd and the whole crowd says like, average American. And it's like all these white people, like these MAGA people.
Yeah, just a bunch. I'm like, wow. I can't believe they did it.
I'm waiting for my check.
Yeah, I'm like, so anybody gonna let us into this? Wow.
But yeah, it's very upsetting. But like nothing surprises me at this point.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I say that like the idea of this country is just like it's so shot to
Yeah,
the point
yeah.
where it's like nothing is too impossible as far as like you just couldn't believe it because it's literally what we're going for every time.
Yeah, like I'll be like just living my day to day, and like for work, like I'll be on social media because I like that's what my job pertains to, and I'll just see like the Twitter trending, and I'll click on them like. I'll read some like something that's considered like very, very bad, or like something that's like once in a lifetime event, and I'm just like, yeah,
like,
you know, or like he will send me something. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till he's done. You know, Lord willing, if nothing crazy happens, and if we're going just based off age, I'm gonna outlast him. You know, so I'll just wait till the headline pops up on the newspaper. And we'll go from there. Where it's his last day. I didn't mean as president. I didn't mean like his last day.
what was I about to say? Crap. I was literally like listening to you the whole time. I had it in the beginning.
About like the news. I was saying like I'll go on Twitter trending and I'll see like something to be like horrible news.
My question was gonna be like, so what do you think the equivalent to how the way this country is now, as far as just like the stuff that, like you said, like you're not surprised when you see stuff. Like, what would you think would be the equivalent for something like that back in like 2002, like early like 2000s, where like social media or I guess YouTube,
like a equivalent scandal?
I guess so.
Like, what do you like? Give me an example of like today's.
Because I feel like not only is it scandal, I'm just meaning also to like I guess like something like a meme or something like that, where it's just like you saw it and then that was the thing that was trending, but it like. When you look at it now, you're just like, oh, like that was just like funny, but it wasn't something that was just like, yo, this is that. Like now you're looking at like, bro, this is so out of pocket. Like, why is this a thing? Like, I just feel like there's things now where you're just like, bro, what the heck?
Like 9/11? Is that what you mean?
No.
Oh,
no, that's like a world.
I know, but like it was something that was very bad.
Yes.
But then people also joke about it.
That's true. It shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be.
So that's my 2000s equivalent.
Okay,
or the housing crash.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, what is something that we've seen when we were growing up that is just like...
Those are the only two things. Y2K, bug, we were like 2 years old, so I can't even equate it. No. Michael Jackson died.
Honestly. I mean, hey, that was pretty big. I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff, celebrities. I'm just thinking, like, you see stuff now, like something compared to, like, the whole thing with Diddy going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's equivalents to that always. Like every couple of years, you would think. I mean, I think for like if we're going any event like Ebola or like H1Z1, is that what it was? H1N1. I think H1Z1 was a game.
It was a game.
H1N1 was the swine flu.
Okay, yeah.
What was the other one? It was like there was one with like a crazy name other than Ebola. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I feel like it just showed up in my head and went away.
Zika,
bro. There's no way. I literally was like Zika, but I'm like that sounds so dumb.
The Zika virus.
I low key was in my head saying, "Mark, don't say this dumb word in front of camera." I was keeping it to myself. As soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Okay.
Wasn't the Zika virus like babies were like being born with like really tiny heads and like crazy?
Was it?
One of those. I remember that being like a side effect.
I remember the monkeypox was coming around too.
That was another, but that was like a year ago.
But I thought it was around like 20, also like 20, like 19, 18 or 2.
Yeah, it comes around. Same with Ebola. If you watch an episode of Martin, they talk about Ebola like in the 90s.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common disease.
Yeah, look, I typed in Zika virus and it said baby. Wow. Yeah, baby head. Yeah, look, this is a baby that's born with Zika virus.
Wow.
I remember that being a thing like on the news.
Wow.
But I knew it was one that had like a freaky name to it. But those were dropping like every year, bro. I think it was like swine flu, Ebola, Zika.
In
like
high school, yeah, there was like something. I was like convinced, okay, this world is like just so dirty. We're done.
Do you remember the whooping cough commercials?
The whooping cough?
You remember that? They used to have a commercials. Do you know what whooping cough is?
No.
It's like for babies. It's like a little illness, not a little illness, but it's an illness that they have. They have like a lot, like basically they can't stop coughing.
Okay.
And they used to have, honestly, if I show it to you, hopefully you remember it, and that doesn't make me sound crazy. But it used to be on like cartoon, like you watch TV and it will come on, and then
like a commercial for it.
Yeah, like you know how they have like medicine commercials or like like diabetes.
I thought you were saying just there was just like sometimes you would see a lot of shows where they like use.
No. This
like
was just flat out like an infomercial.
Got you.
To I guess call to like get a medication or something, but it used to be like a mother holding a baby, and it would be coughing. But the way that they like edited the video of the baby coughing just sounded so. I gotta show it to you. Hopefully somebody watching this or hears about this and knows what I'm talking about. I don't know why I just brought that up. It's just a bunch of illnesses.
But anyway.
Yeah, but that's the only things that I could equate to it.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal. Or like there was a lot of like if you think about like you trying to compare Diddy now, like I remember like Casey Anthony or like Trayvon Martin. Like those were like big cases at the time. Or like Octomom. You remember Octomom?
That sounds
the woman that was pregnant that had 8 kids.
Yeah.
And she had like a whole show. She was like massive, bro.
TLC they had the show.
TLC needs to be like they need to get rid of that. There's something very morally wrong about that channel. And my mom used to eat that shit up my entire childhood. I mean, John and Kate plus 8. And then it was Kate plus 8. And then it was the 1,000-pound life people. Hoarders. They got the shows for like the little people like getting married or just like all that. Then there's another one that's like a Catholic family that had like 20 kids. I forget their names, but it's just one of them. And now they have this. They gave this girl who's on TikTok. I think I follow her still. She has Tourette's, and the whole show is just following her around with Tourette's.
What do you get at?
But it's just like it's capitalizing on these people who have like disabilities and stuff going on. And they've been doing that for so long.
Yeah, I guess they said it's not broke. Why just keep going?
But that channel is just awful. Like, I think, a bunch of those people. I think was Carlos Bakery on TLC.
I have no idea.
You used to watch Carlos Bakery?
No.
What? You didn't watch Carlos Bakery? She's like, yeah, we got little Bobby likes Xboxes, so we're gonna make him a cake for his 13th birthday. We got 18 pounds of fondant and 12 PVC pipes, and we're gonna get some spray paint, turn into an Xbox 360.
Hey, I mean, back then you would want somebody to put that much work into something like that.
And like in hindsight, it didn't look that good. It was just like so much frosting, and then it wouldn't even be cake. He would mold all this stuff. He's going to take the molding chocolate and we're going to make this Xbox controller. And then the filling, we're going to make it Rice Krispie treat so it's easy to hold a sharp edge. I used to watch so much.
I can tell, yeah.
Bro, I can't believe you didn't watch Cake Boss.
Nah.
I feel like everybody watched Cake Boss.
Nah, I don't really watch that. I honestly don't. What year was that like around?
That was like early 2000, like not early, but like I say 05 to like 2010. The show ran for like much longer, but like peak Cake Boss was like 05 to like 2010.
Yeah, I don't know. Guys, cartoons was my thing. I was just stuck on that.
I had a mom who was watching a reality show. She had me watching. What was the other show channel called? There was one that was just law. It was like it's illegal now. Like they're not allowed to do it. I mean, but they banned it because they had a channel that was doing like following court cases like in every day. Like it was a 24-hour like running show for Casey Anthony's case with her daughter, and then Trayvon Martin, and they covered the case from start to finish on that channel. And it got so popular and had so much influence on the case that they had to get rid of that channel.
Wow.
Because like so many people were like having outrage and seeing all the evidence and that's why you see this Diddy trial. Like there's no cameras allowed inside or at all or anything.
Yeah, I definitely was from my mom. The things that I would see would be some of HGTV.
Yes,
that's one of those things.
Chip and Joe. Chip and Joe was a shit.
Yeah,
it was a married couple. Judge Judy.
Judy is what I would see.
We talked about her. She's an asshole. I talked about her before.
she's a mean woman, bro.
Yeah.
And other than that, my mom, like, she probably did watch some other stuff too, but most of it would probably just be like movies. Like I watched a lot of some movies with my mom too, but it was never like shows a lot of the time. Like it would be those two type of like shows, but other than that, I never watched anything else other than that.
Gotcha. Yeah, my mom was a reality TV mom.
And the thing is, though, my mom
Housewives
is
in New Jersey.
My mom is too, but like I think when I was younger, I was just never like, I guess
paying attention to it.
I guess I just wasn't really paying attention to that as much because. But she still watches that stuff now, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
All the Housewives shows, Jersey Shore. Shows that work. Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant, True Life, all that shit that I should not have been watching.
Oh, and Survivor.
She was watching Survivor.
My mom, that and the Great Race. Or is it the American Race? Or
what's that about?
I think it is the Great Race. It's like people that are competing. Usually it's like a pair, and they usually set them into like maybe like someplace in like a different country, or it's
like a foreign island or something.
Yeah, and basically it's like a giant race that you just go on and follow clues, and you
Mhm.
basically are going around throughout the like city and like, oh, this place, and they'll have puzzles at the stops. Like you go to the
And
stops,
you have
and,
to like
and
solve it.
then once you finish it, it'll give you a clue on where you have to go to the next place. Like, oh, this is it's saying it's this way. We gotta go this way. Go, and it's like literally like maybe like 8 contestants like in pairs, just all going and trying to get to the end of this.
We
one
would
place.
crush on that show.
Bro, I used to watch it and I was like, this is awesome. Like, I'm like, what, bro? You just get to go through the whole city and just like get through puzzles, bro. I was like, this is awesome, bro.
You're forgetting one important one though.
Oh, wait. There's another one I just had
Right.
in my head too. Cash Cab.
Cash Cab was great.
Cash
That
Cab
was Cash Cab, Jerry Springer, Maury, Steve
Cash Cab
Wilkos.
was that job,
That
bro.
was all like I stood home from school television.
Bro, and like it's just so funny when you're like a non-bystander watching that and you're just like, it's so easy.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure if I was in there, I'd be like, lifeline.
No, but you're forgetting the most important one. Are you smarter than the average American, bro?
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember my mom would definitely be having us watch that too sometimes. And I'd be sitting there too, like, bro, I didn't learn this.
Right.
I don't know where he's getting these questions from. I never learned this when I was in 5th grade. Like, I wouldn't even be in 5th grade yet.
Right.
And I'm just like, how the heck? Like, I don't even know this. Meanwhile, they're saying, oh yeah, I learned this in like 2nd grade. How, Jimmy?
What
I don't
second
know.
school? No, you know what's funny? So like I think Cash Cab's been out of it. Like they haven't filmed new episodes in years.
Well, I think there was an incident, I think, at one point with it. I
Yeah.
forget what it was. I think it had to be obviously with him not paying attention. There was probably some accident.
Somebody got hit or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think something like that happened.
Wasn't I thought I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like there was like for filming there was like cars surrounding them. So he was just following the cars that was leading them.
That makes sense, though.
So it was
I
probably the ones in
always
front
thought
of them.
about that.
Yeah.
As far as like, how the heck does he just like know to go these certain
Yeah,
places
yeah.
and also do the game show? And like, it's pretty sure. It's,
So he would be driving, but like it'll be like a car on each side of him, basically just like guiding him a certain route.
yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
But the reason I brought it back up is because they haven't aired episodes in a minute. But somebody made a TikTok where they were like, it was just like a bunch of like a family in a car, but they called like their grandma or something, just like in a hurry, like, hey, I'm on the Cash Cab, like help me answer this question. She's like,
Bro,
oh my god.
You know the amount of fear that will go into my heart if you or Quinn ever called me and be like,
Yeah,
yo, I have to go. I'm like, why'd you call me? I'm the worst option. Why would you do this to me? Oh, bro, I feel so bad because
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there immediately, like trying to find my computer, or if I'm on my phone, just like put you on speaker, like literally on ChatGPT. I'm like, I have to get this right, bro. I'm not gonna make them fail.
They're just like, it was like, oh, who was the first president? It's like George Washington. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Just have them think that, bro.
Yeah,
They start calling me later. So what happened? We didn't win. I'll just say that. Just like
we
so
lost.
calm.
They gave us. We had a lot of money, and they were like, oh, you could do double or nothing, and we lost. So
I would go double down, just be like, yeah, that question wasn't even right. That
you gave me the
answer
wrong.
wasn't
You
right.
gave me the wrong answer, and we
Yeah.
lost everything. Thank
Make
you.
them feel so bad. Like, oh,
It was a trick question.
yeah, right. Man, that and my mom would occasionally sometimes, or I guess it would be me in the room, cops.
Yeah. Cops. There's like live PD now, which is another one that's like it's cops but live. Wild.
Have
Have you seen that?
No, but
The-
I can only imagine.
They'll be like in a home, like there's like a home based studio where the guy hosting it, and he'll just be like, oh yeah, like we're gonna cut here to like Des Moines, Iowa, like, and we got this like police chase for a DUI, and then they'll die down. It's like, oh, we have something in Gainesville, Florida. We're gonna cut to there, see how that's going.
It's almost like what's that type of channel that you can get for sports?
Oh, it's like NFL Red Zone.
yeah, Red Zone. There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, Red? Is
Same
it Red?
same idea. Yeah. He's just
Yeah.
like, oh, like we're gonna cut to the Philadelphia Eagles game where they're at the
Yeah.
red zone at the 20-yard line. Same shit.
I'm like, that's what it sounds like. Wow,
Yeah.
bro.
It's like we caught a drug dealer on during the big raid.
Let's just go and chime in, see what's
Yeah.
happening. Bull's just face on the wall. Stop resisting. I'm like, all right, we're gonna come back to that later. Speaking of TV shows, I just saw, I think it was today, Nickelodeon is planning for this whole summer to change their I guess just title.
Nicktoons to Nick Sponge or something like that.
Nick SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So literally SpongeBob's just gonna be playing the whole summer.
Which is fire, but like I don't even know if I have Nicktoons. That's a whole separate channel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they have like Teen Nick where they used to play Degrassi. Then it was Nick and Nick Jr. Nickelodeon,
Nick at Night.
but that was
Yeah,
just
I know.
Nickelodeon after a certain time.
I know.
But they have Nicktoon. Like those were all like I remember when I had like regular cable. Like that's how it was laid out. So I don't even know if I have it.
Yeah, I know that. I know Nicktoons was the thing. Yeah, but yeah, I was like, this is fire idea. At the same time, it's just like I remember somebody said, unfortunately, I don't like really care for this show that much, and I was just like, how?
No, the tweet says like they said like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not against this.
Oh, okay.
They're basically saying like I'm for it, like I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
If we're talking about the same tweet or something,
I
was
think
like,
I saw. I don't know. I might have saw something different, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm not against it. Like, it's just it's so cool to grow up with it and still see how important it is to Nickelodeon. Like
SpongeBob is Nickelodeon's ridiculousness.
It is. It is, and I also think it's its saving grace from going out of business.
Yeah.
I literally think it is.
Could you name one new show that they're producing?
No, other than like maybe like the kids shows like Paw Patrol. I think.
Oh yeah, but is that even Nick? Like I thought it was just like.
I think it is.
Because like Bluey and shit is not even. That's just like Netflix or something, or like that's like an Australian local channel and it just grew up.
I don't think Paw Patrol is on Nick. I think
it might be Nickelodeon,
but again,
but like there are some that just aren't. Like there's a lot of popular ones that aren't attached to like Nick or Cartoon Network or Disney anymore.
I believe that, yeah. But I just again that's the only show I can think of, and again it's like a baby/kid show. And so it's like you got SpongeBob was just.
But I'm not watching Sanji and Craig. Or like whatever those other Johns were.
No, yeah. So like it's cool to know that like a show like SpongeBob is still existing. It is sad because every time I see something with SpongeBob posting and it's like a big announcement, I'm just waiting for the day to be like, okay, this is the last season.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it's so sad, but at the same time, it's like it does need to end.
It should have been the creator said he wanted it to end.
It was supposed to end when he the movie was supposed to be the last thing. But I guess, I mean, I'm not upset with like...
Which would have been if you just kept it there, that would have been the best...
No, yeah.
Like, sample, like, show from start to finish.
I personally feel like it was fine until they started adding, like, what was it called? It was, like, the camp one. Like,
yeah, but those are all that was, like, HBO. That was a Paramount show. That wasn't even on... That never aired on Nickelodeon. That was a Paramount streaming exclusive. And, like, Patrick's show, I think, aired on Nickelodeon. Yeah,
that was dumb. It's like, okay, you're just adding, I don't know.
But all that stuff, none of that had Steven Hillenburg's like blessing.
No, yeah. That's true.
You know what's really a sleeper thing that I don't know if it's sleeper, but I've been doing it. On YouTube, there's like the official channels for a lot of these shows will just live stream their episodes like 24/7. I've been watching so much Yu-Gi-Oh! And Avatar: Last Airbender will do it. Like they'll just be like, oh, like the entire Book of Water. Like live stream, or Legend of Korra has it, and then Nettie will do it, Gumball will do Adventure Time, and a bunch of all those other shows, and I just be like live streams of them. Sometimes I just throw one up while I'm working, and I'm like, this is so fire. Like this is what I want. Like I don't want to deal with the commercials or any of that. It's just nonstop, just episodes and stuff.
When they do that live stream stuff for sure, I always see some of them pop up on my. I've definitely seen the Yu-Gi-Oh one. I think I clicked on the Yu-Gi-Oh one, and then immediately my algorithm was just like Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, no matter what.
Or like this, I've sent them to you before, but there's channels that will do like I guess they recorded like a TV slate from like 2007, and it'll just be the commercials and everything from back then. I'll watch that too sometimes.
That is a good one when I see those, because usually they'll also have it for the different seasons, like Halloween, like summertime,
or like a Toonami joint.
Yeah, them Jones be nice. But speaking of Gumball.
That new season's out or coming out.
Is it a season or is it just like a?
Well, I think they technically have to give it a new name.
Yeah,
because of like
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, for those reasons, but it's just I think it's just an extension. Because it's like
but it was posted by Cartoon Network's like
official.
So I was just confused because I'm like,
there's probably some weird legal thing to it where they couldn't just call it The Amazing World of Gumball again, because now it's like The Wacky World of Gumball.
Yeah, but that it's like I understand. I'm just confused as far as like, so Cartoon Network is still alive in a sense. Well, it's just not the channel. Air?
So Cartoon Network Studios is done.
Yeah, okay.
The entity itself still exists, obviously, because like I don't think you could ever get rid of those shows. Like the demand for it is going to be there. But like as in terms of it being like an actual running business, I think it's out because it's technically owned by another super mega corporation. So
I don't know.
They're just gonna milk whatever's left of it.
I'm just thinking, out of all the like kids shows or channels, I feel like Cartoon Network and Nick are the only ones that should like be alive. Unfortunately, Disney is great, but like
They haven't had good television in forever.
Yeah,
They're like
compared
they've
to
switched to movies.
yeah, compared to the 3, it's like if you were to say which one would you get rid of, I think everybody would be like okay with saying
Yeah.
Disney. Unfortunately, yeah, there are some good ones, but like
They've kind of pivoted to like be like Marvel or the parks. Or,
exactly. Like let's be honest. So I would say I just like it's so crazy to see how that happened. I mean,
but that's cable, bro. That's blaming cable because
Yeah.
cutting the cord and like streaming services, killing all that, and so
yeah,
because the reason all that stuff was like a great time for us is because we had cable and that was the only
that was the
option.
thing.
And
Yeah, that was the only thing we had. Yeah.
but now with streaming, it's like kind of messes that up. Not as much people are watching TV, and most of the time watching TV is because of sports, because the Phillies or the Eagles or Sixers are on. But
Even then, you end up going to streaming stuff for that sometimes too.
yeah, so I never really find myself sitting down at my TV like. There's no show on regular television that's not on streaming that's like, yo, I gotta sit down for this.
A lot of times too, it's like it will air and then immediately like right after it goes right on stream.
So it's like, what's the point? Like, but back then, like when we were younger, it'd be like, oh, like the new High School Musical movie is coming out or whatever special episode of like a show is coming out, and it's like if you don't watch it right then and there,
Yeah, wait next.
you gotta wait either next week or like watch it at like 3 a.m. with some weird re-air that they would do.
Because they do reruns. It's all reruns
Yeah.
no matter what. It's just after a certain time.
Or if it's going to commercial, they all go to the bathroom real quick. Like, oh, it's back. Cause like I can't pause it. Like if I miss it, I'll miss it.
True.
So it's a little different now where it's like it's so much ease of access. There's like I'm not really pressed to like, oh, I gotta go watch this at 7 o'clock.
And that's just so crazy, bro, because the idea of commercials when you were like there watching it and you're like, yo, like I really need to go to the bathroom.
I have a minute 30. Like,
or like I need to get food or whatever the case was. Like my mom said I had to go do this.
She calling you for something, like take out the trash.
The urgency of like, bro, I have to Zoom as soon as commercials come on so I can hurry up and be back. Like there was something.
Because Goku's about to fight Frieza.
Yeah.
And if I miss this right
I can't miss it. Like I have to rush, bro. Like I will literally be going downstairs like to my wife. What do you need? Like what do you need? Like tell me now in the most simplest way so I can get it done.
And she's like, ah.
Yeah. I'm like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. This is not what I need.
You took too long to get here and I forgot. Oh
Yeah.
my, don't go because I'm gonna remember.
Yeah,
And
I'm
you just
so
hear
frustrated.
you just hear like Kamehamehas like over the TV.
I'm like, no. Oh, bro, yeah. The need for commercials was so great, and now it's just like as soon as like you can pause it, like, it's great. But in retrospect, when I guessing you're in somebody from our generation, it's
Yeah.
just like you.
And
miss that stuff.
They weren't great, but now it's like a little nostalgia to it, I guess. Because like even then, it's like, oh damn, like just play the damn show. I don't want to watch commercials. Some of them would be like entertaining. It's like, oh, like the cereal commercials would be dope.
Yeah, some of them are.
Or the toys, like just be like,
That's what I think the issue is now. It's just commercials are just not entertaining.
they're not fun. They're too commercial.
They're too commercially, and the idea of like it's always something about medication.
Yeah.
It's always something political. It's always something that is just like you don't even understand where it's going to the last like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're just like, I'm turning away from it.
Or it has nothing to do with the product. Like it's
Yeah,
just, like-
exactly. You're just like,
or it's a
Huh?
Uber Eats kind of thing or nothing.
Yeah.
Like even if I put on like so there's some days I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like I'm gonna go make breakfast on like a Saturday. I'll put the TV on and sometimes Cartoon Network or Nick will have like cartoons on. So I'm like, let me just have that on and just background noise.
yeah.
And I don't even hear like toy commercials or anything like that anymore. Or anything like even video games or anything like why like there used to be like
Dang, video game commercials. I forgot that was a thing too.
yeah, like there used to be like if there was a new Pokemon game coming out, there would be a commercial for the game and you would see the little like
I
you
remember like Diamond
kids
and Pearl.
like kids with a backpack like oh they're at school like
I remember the Diamond and Pearl commercials. Yeah.
or this Apple Jacks John or like
Yeah,
Pop Tarts
come on.
or like Pop Tarts ones or
Oh,
like
I'm gonna cry.
or so many like stupid little toys like yo I'm not buying this like infomercial ones like oh get this foam toy thing you mish it into
No, I would
whatever
want
you
it.
want or like the
I know
zoo
I wasn't
books
getting it. Yeah.
or the zoo books
There were so many things that I know I wanted to
Yeah.
get, just never got. Zoo Pals.
you never had Zoo Pals before
I don't
they got them
think I
now
did.
bro
I know they do. Yeah, I don't know if I did. I feel like I did. I think at my dad's house. I think I remember we got them. Zoo Pals make eating
yeah
fun.
it's like meow meow Zoo Pals
Oink.
woof woof Zoo Pals
Bro, Wild.
He's put the
bro.
grapes in little. And it was
Bro,
nice.
I used to also. That's what I'm saying. You used to look forward to
Or like the
commercials.
Danimals commercials, with all the little animals and shit.
You used to look forward, bro. And then when they had those type of commercials, and then they used to have like these sweepstakes going on or
Mhm.
challenges, like
It's like go on a cruise with
Yeah.
Zach and Cody.
Bro, I used to be so hyped.
If you drink all these Danimals.
I'm like, Mom, we need to go to the store now.
You know, somebody asked them about that.
I think
There's
I
like a
remember
podcast.
saying,
Somebody asked them, was like, "Oh, we can't." Like, they didn't want to, because I think they still have like an NDA still active for them. But they're like, it happened, but we can't like talk about it in detail. But like, if for sure, like somebody won and somebody came and like.
But even though like that, or maybe some other stuff where it'd be like, oh, you get to go like trip with you and your family, to some
Disney or
place.
some shit.
Yeah, like
Nickelodeon, Nick
bro,
Studios.
Those things used to be so much fun.
They don't do
bro.
fun shit. Like they don't. There's no like fun activations
There's
anymore for
no,
any
like,
product or like
interaction.
creative. Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
no. I don't know. Now it's just like pay full price
Yeah.
for this thing that like is way overpriced than it needs to be,
Yeah, it's
and
it's straight to the point.
subscription service,
and
on
it's
top
all
of it.
about the money. You could tell like it's all
Yeah,
about the money.
it's a cash
man.
grab.
So sad. Like I said, it's that or just medicine commercials.
And,
like
yeah.
all the time. Like, oh, do you have this pain? Do you have this pain? Are you sick? Here, take this. And you're
Bro,
just like,
I forgot to. I went to go see Final Destination yesterday,
okay.
and like they had a medicine commercial in the theater. I'm used to just back-to-back trailers, and then the in between of being like, "Oh, like please be quiet, please silence your phones." It was like trailer, then like, "Oh, do you have diabetes?" And it's just like I'm eating and I'm drinking this
Yeah.
husky ass
Well, maybe.
Slurpee
Maybe I need to pay attention
after
to
this. But the commercial was like the longest one. And they was just listing off different. It's like if you have pancreatic issues, if you're pregnant, if you have weight loss, if you have heartburn, if your ear falls
If
off,
you stop paying attention to all these things
Yeah.
I'm listing.
if your feet hurt, if you feel the loss of your limbs occurring, if you feel like you keep shitting yourself, please stop taking this immediately.
If you yawned in the last 2 seconds, you're like, huh?
Yeah. And it's just like, bro, this is not the place for that.
Yeah, like I said, it's just
And the movie started at 10:10.
that's when it was supposed to start. Or?
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't see the film until 10:50.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Why?
Previews.
But like it wasn't even that many. There was one movie that I saw that I really want to see. It has one of the Franco brothers. He's like, it's like a horror kind of thing. It looks good. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna send you the trailer. I think it's called like Together.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess it was just got released, or it's like the trailer just came out. I guess because I feel like
That was the first time I saw it.
yeah, because I just went to the movies to see Thunderbolt, and I didn't see like last weekend, so I didn't see anything like that.
It's usually sometimes they show different trailers and stuff too, but it might be new.
I feel like
And
I
then-
might have.
And then there's the other one that's about F1 with Brad Pitt in it.
yeah, I want to.
That one looks kind of fire.
I
I'm
wanna
not gonna
see
lie.
the production just looks really good. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't seem too like okay, you can tell like this is just like oh it's Brad Pitt, so let's just try to
Yeah.
make some. No, it seems pretty like
It looks better than like Bullet Train did in trailer wise.
that, and I
Or,
feel like
It's the bull from Snowfall. It's like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
Too.
that's Q's bull.
Yeah. Bill Bop, Brick Bop, Brick, me.
Yeah, that and I think like recently too. I was just like feeling like I'm like man, they're making a lot of racing movies recently and stuff too. I feel like that. Then there was the previous was it like an
Fast and
F1?
Furious.
Huh?
Fast and Furious.
No, remember the one where the kid like he played the video game and then he actually got like hired to actually race.
Yes.
It was like that.
I remember
one.
that was like a year or two ago. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it was like I felt like it was that, and they like were like, oh, let's try to like it seems like people are liking this, so let's try
Yeah.
to pivot more to that. So maybe they might start making more of that stuff. I don't know.
What was that other one? There was like it was like a live action before live actions became super popular. It was about racing. Speed Racer. It's based off of like an anime.
Off an anime.
See if I can find
Didn't I also hear too that they're actually like planning on making the Akira film?
it. Most likely.
I think I heard that.
I saw this article that was like, oh, there's like 80 video game live actions in planning. And I was
Speed
like-
Racer was one, but that was already a thing. That was already I remember went to the movies.
That's what I'm saying, but I remember like this was like years, like this was
Yeah,
before
yeah.
live actions of things were like a big deal.
I
Like,
remember I saw that, and that's for somebody who never watched Speed Racer, like the cartoon.
yeah. This is like that's a very old like anime. That's like they'll talk like and it just like pauses.
And bro, the monkey that was always with them, bro. I was like, what is this? Like, I don't even know what this show is about.
And
like,
mind you, this most likely originally in Japanese, and we're watching it in English.
yeah.
I
remember I went to the movies and saw that. That was a good time.
But I like that Brad Pitt movie looks decent. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how he still continues to like look young and fit, even though
him and Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Mission Impossible also came out.
Yeah,
but
that's gonna be a good one.
He also got like Brad Pitt also like spazzed on his kids on a flight in front of Angelina Jolie, and he's still working. But so this story for another day. Where can they find you, Mark?
Yeah, you can find me Instagram, Marky Mark. Victor, where can they find you in the podcast?
Find me everywhere at etc Victor. Nope, that's a lie. etc.vic because everything else. No, I'm lying. etc Victor for my YouTube. That's all that I care
twice,
about.
Guys.
my Instagram shit don't matter because they got hacked. But etc Victor on YouTube. Plenty of stuff coming out always. For us though, where you always want to be, real etc. You're already here watching this, so you already know what's up. But in the description, there's links. Yep. And then real.etc@gmail.com is our email. And our @handle on everything is literally real.etc. always. So, appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Emissary videos just came out. Having a lot of fun with that. We died a lot. I was running through that back and I was like, this is a lot of cutting.
Yeah. A lot of stress.
But a lot of fun times, a lot of jump scares. So if you haven't watched that, go check it out. Other than that, we're done here. I'm Victor. He's Mark. We'll see you guys next time. We'll be with Mario Lopez when his show drops. We'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Peace out.